Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to watch my review of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation right now. Back at it again with another Mission Impossible review, this time for Rogue Nation. This is Christopher McQuarrie's first Mission Impossible film. He's also doing the most recent one, Dead Reckoning, and he also did Fallout, and he's ending the series. This is our first director, I'm pretty sure, that's directed multiple Mission Impossible movies, so that's great to hear. But I loved what Christopher McQuarrie did for these movies. He changed them, just like Brad Bird changed them. I think Christopher McQuarrie made him more like a spy movie, more serious in my opinion. This is what I call a really good spy mystery adventure film, and I love what he did with it. I think he just makes the action stand out a little bit more than Brad Bird did, which I really do appreciate. So let's get into a quick plot synopsis. With the IMF now disbanded and Ethan Hunt out in the cold, a new threat called the Syndicate emerges. Faced with what may be the most impossible mission yet, Ethan gathers his team and joins forces with Ilsa Faust, a disavowed British agent who may or not be a member of this deadly rogue nation. Alright, that's a quick plot synopsis of the movie, because this movie is just full with plot. This is a huge plot of a movie. It's plot. It's a lot of plot. That's all I gotta say. But, you know, this is my second favorite Mission Impossible movie because it is stacked. It is a stacked movie. The cast is stacked. Tom Cruise, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson. She's beautiful in this movie. Jeremy Renner, Ving Rhames, Sean Harris, Alec Baldwin. That's just to name a few of them. But, man, this is the most stacked cast I think you're going to have until the next one, because after this one they all get more stacked in the cast, and I just love it. I think this one is really smart because I said it's more serious. It builds and builds on the tension throughout the whole movie, and the Syndicate is actually a really cool villain because it's not just one person, it's a whole group of people, but Sean Harrison's character is kind of the leader behind the Syndicate, and I think he's a great character, great villain. I don't know if he's better than Philip Seymour Hoffman is, but I still think he's pretty good. My favorite scenes of this movie are, of course, the opening scene when he has to catch the plane and he's actually hanging on from the plane. One of the biggest stunts in the Mission Impossible franchise. I can't believe Tom Cruise literally hung onto that plane. I would have loved to have been there when he literally was filming that scene. That would have been crazy in my opinion. Another one of my favorite scenes has got to be when he's in the water. When he dives in the water, he has to hold his breath and all that. And then they get out, and then he goes on this huge motorcycle chase after he basically just died. Like, literally, Simon Pegg says, "You just died. Are you okay to drive?" And Ethan Hunt's like, "What?" Like, he doesn't even remember that he died. He just goes and starts riding the motorcycle. I find that scene awesome, and I do love the opera scene. That might be my favorite scene in the movie. The opera scene is just brilliant in how it was staged and directed, and the music just keeps going and going and going, and they keep getting lifted up and lifted down because the opera stage also moves with them, and I find that just executed perfectly. That's another chef's kiss moment, as we gotta say. And, you know, I just think that this movie just has a lot more stakes, especially at the end, where Benji has a literal bomb around him, and I think the Syndicate are a real threat. As I said, they might not be the best villain, but they're probably the most threatening villain they haven't had those so far in this series. And Sean Harris, as I said, he's brilliant here, but, you know, I feel like we're just missing an element. You know, we're missing what might be the bigger threat of the movie. I wish that there was a bigger threat to be had in the movie, but the Syndicate are a pretty good threat. They're not great, as I said, but I want a bigger threat, like higher than the Syndicate. But overall, I think that this movie is simply amazing. It's an amazing action movie, amazing adventure movie, amazing spy movie. So I'm going to give Mission Impossible Rogue Nation a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, our first amazing Mission Impossible movie, I would say. The other ones are good to great, but this one is the first amazing movie. But I'll see you guys tomorrow in my review for Mission Impossible Fallout. Peace out.